What is going on, everyone? Commodore last here today, bringing to my review of One Piece manga chapter 945 titled O-lin. Now, this week's chapter of One Piece was pretty damn eventful, and the fact that we have to go on break next week is, it hurts the soul every time Oda goes on break, but at the very least, the kind of chapter that we got this week was at least, enough to suffice for me, until we get back in 2 weeks' time. But let's go ahead and talk about the chapter and what went down. We start off the chapter early on, getting to see, Orochi, making his, escape, retreating right back to his palace. And it just drives me nuts, man. This dude just dipping, going away, and he's like, yo, make sure everything gets done for me, okay? Capture, kill, whatever you gotta do. And then, I can't wait to see whether it be Zorro, whether it be, Luffy, whether it be Momonosuke. I don't care who it is. Whoever has opportunity to curb stomp this man into the canvas, the concrete ground, whatever it may be, they're going to show up into my top 10. And if they're already my number 1, they're the greatest of all time. If it's a character that's, maybe in the top 5 that wasn't looking to be a top 3, guess what? They end up being the top 3. It just is what it is. We move on to see the other fights that are going on in the Rasetsu District. We get to see more of, Zoro and Kyoshiro. We get to see Sanji and Drake. We even get to see Brook going in, putting in work as well, scaring off members of the only one Bonsu. And I'm still a firm believer of what I said in my review last week in regards to Kyoshiro, because now that Orochi's gone, we have now members of, his, forces and stuff that are there, and the only one Bonsu, Fukurokujo in them. Because that they're there, I can see, something along the lines of, him revealing himself as Dendro, because I do feel like he's gonna end up revealing that he's on the good team afterwards. Kind of similar to the Rayleigh and Kuma moment from way back, in Sabaody. So I do see that's gonna happen. It's one of those things where he can't really reveal it in front of too many people that are close off to, Orochi. Because then if you end up making that kind of reveal, enough where somebody's going to hear, especially the ninja, there's going to be people lying around to see what's going on. I do feel like if that happens, then, it's going to be revealed to Orochi. And then, let's say, for example, if something happens where Hiyori's identity gets revealed, then he'll know afterwards, Kyoshiro is kind of turning on him. And then we have to see what's going on afterwards from Fukurokujo's side, because he says that apparently they just need to capture at least one person from the people that are there from the Straw Hats, so they can interrogate them and stuff. And I've been seeing these, little theories have been going on. There's, rumors about, potentially Usopp being captured at some point in this arc. I think if you guys see Mr. Morge's video in regards to that, I could see that now happening because it's been introduced. So maybe it's going to come true, and that we get to see someone like, Usopp, and who knows, maybe just Robin also gets captured as well, because we already saw that she was teased to get captured back in the palace with Orochi, so maybe that happens to her. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And before I even move on to the next phase of the chapter, I just want to say this real quickly, okay? Shout out to Drake, because long ago when you play Pokemon, nobody used Tail Whip unless they were confident enough to lower someone's defenses. Now that we got these remakes and all this stuff going on, Tail Whip does super critical damage, and he's putting Sanji, he's putting in some work right now on Sanji, so I'm liking that at the very least. Sanji, of course we expect him to take out Drake afterwards, but Drake is looking, pretty impressive so far, laying the smackdown right now. All good things are going to come to an end, because, I'm not allowed to be happy. Afterwards, we go and move on to what was probably my favorite part of the entire chapter, and that is Trafalgar Law finally showing up in front of the prison of the Rasetsu District, confronting Basil Hawkins. Right away, off the gate, he says, yo, somebody's missing. Where's that white bear? I'm like, hey, listen, man. You touch Beppo, you get touched. That's just how it is, man. The fact that, Hawkins, was saying, Law has the capabilities of getting everybody else out of here and stuff from inside the prison district. So for Hawkins, it's like, yo, I'm not going to risk leaving, things, in your favor. I can't keep all the hostages in one place. So, of course, Beppo is kind of MIA. And kind of going back and talking about, the potential of, somebody like Usopp or Robin getting captured by, Fukurokujo afterwards. I could see something like this happening as well for Beppo, but more leaning towards, what happened with Killer. And I do think that if something were to happen with, Beppo, in terms of, let's say he gets fed a Smile Devil Fruit, he's force fed it and stuff, I could see something afterwards, and I have a video for this, in the works right now, in regards to how I can see Law potentially having some kind of play within, trying to get a cure and reverse the side effects of the Smile Fruits. Because I do feel like if something were to happen with Beppo, I think he'll be motivated to actually do something like that. But if he isn't, then I feel like it's more of he's going to be focusing on taking down Kaido more than anything, and then that's probably going to be Chopper's role for the rest of the arc. We see afterwards, Hawkins, he makes his play. He ends up having both Sachi, Penguin. We know he has Beppo already under control as victims and stuff, so he has lives on his end. Law right now, he's like, yo, I can't play stupid. I can't go and smoke this guy, because that means one of my guys are gonna be dying. So if Law wants to be able to take down Hawkins, he has to take out all 4 lives that are there. 3 that he has in possession, including his own. So I don't know how it's going to play out, but I'm telling you right now, for those of you guys who are watching, Naya, I know you're watching this for sure. I know you're out here going, oh, yo, Hawkins big goal, I'm beasting, yada, yada, yada. Guess what? I'm betting you a bowl of ramen. I saw that tweet. I'm betting you a bowl of ramen. If we get a clear victor in this fight between Basil Hawkins, the magician, versus the surgeon of death known as Trafalgar Law, loser has to pay for a bowl of ramen. I promise you that. We're going to get results. Surgeon of death is not going to fail me. The magician will fall. And at the end of the Rasetsu District portion of the chapter, we see Hiyori, who looks like she's about to get captured by the Oniwan Bonsu, and we see Sanji trying to go in, trying to make the save. Drake says, nah, you're not going to have none of that. We got a fight still going on. And a part of the chapter, I was like thinking to myself, yo, is the witching hour boy about to show up? Because I see like the little panel where Sanji's like, huh? And I'm thinking to myself, wait, wait, is he actually gonna pop up? That wasn't the case, because I keep forgetting in my mind that Zorro had done the tap part before when we saw him way back at the start of Wano and stuff when we reunited with Luffy. So he came in, did his work, taking out one of the members of the Oniwan Bonsu, whose name probably escapes me because I feel like they're just jobbers and not they're not that grand important. They're members for Orochi, but if I forget the name, it is what it is. Zorro comes in, does what he needs to do. I don't know, he slashed in, Busaki knee strike, I don't care what it is. But I know is that he came in, saved Hiyori clinging onto him and stuff. He's like, arigato gozaimashita. Like, I love that whole thing. And then Sanji sees reaction to it where he's like, wait a minute, that girl is friends with Mased, yet I have a higher bounty than he does. Look, it just goes to show you that when your parents help you in life and you don't make the effort for yourself to get the accomplishments that you need to have in life, that's kind of what happens. So Sanji, just enjoy your 16s. My man's gonna enjoy his 26s, and we out here eating. And afterwards, we get to see the confrontation that takes place outside of Bakura town between Kinemon and Ashura Douji. Inarachi's trying to do his best, like, yo, please, yo, Moe Yamete, like, don't fight, don't do this. And afterwards, we go just outside of Bakura town where we get to see the confrontation of Ashura Douji and Kinemon. Kinemon looks like he was about to get mollywopped and stuff because, put two and two together. Ashura Douji knows Kinemon was the one that kind of burned up Mount Tateyama and stuff. So his base was all burned because of this man, so he's going right after him and everything. But Kinemon's trying to make his plea as much as possible to let him know, like, look, we need you for this, okay? We're trying to do everything we can to gain all the samurai and stuff, to be a part of this cause. And once everyone's pretty much been freed from the Flower Capital and they're ready to go, we need you to be a part of this entire thing. So Ashura, are you going to be on our side? But I got something I have to show you. Now, I don't see it where Oda can say, like, I got something to show you and it's not important when we come back in 2 weeks' time. It might have something big to do with, what's going to happen later on with the arc itself. Who knows? Maybe Ashura might be leaning towards, the actual Witching Hour boy, since we have yet to see exactly who this character is, since it's not confirmed to be Yasu whatsoever. So I'm really curious to know what it is, but let me know down in the comments what you guys think of that. And then we reach the end of the chapter, which is pretty much all the stuff that's going down in Udon. We see Big Mom having finally shown up. The Beast Pirate's like, yo, what in the world is one of the Yonko who stand side by side with Kaido doing over here? And like, Queen was just like freaking out. I love like the reaction to it, because it's like, yo, when you just randomly see like someone of that magnitude right in front of you, it's like, yo, like, what am I supposed to do? I'm already having enough on my hands taking care of these ruffians from the worst generation. Now I gotta deal with this person right here. Like, she's out here looking for child support papers, man, and the Oshiroku. There's something in the chapter itself that, it depends on how you guys feel about it. I was kind of like, in the moment, it's like, okay, it was a great moment, and then like, now I look at it, it's like, damn, like, I feel bad for Queen, because we get to find out, what exactly Queen's Devil Fruit is. For a long time, I've seen speculation on it being like a scorpion Devil Fruit, something to do like, a aquatic-based stuff that was going on, but we get the Bronchosaurus, I think it's pronounced. Basically, think the Land Before Time, Littlefoot. If you guys never watched Land Before Time, your childhood must have sucked. That's immediately the thought that came into my mind. He literally is basically Fist of the North Star's heart combined with, Littlefoot from the Land Before Time. Like, he just looks so damn dope in it. You get to see him transform, and literally you look down in the panel afterwards, and Big Mom hits, a slam dunk, and she probably got and one. It did suck a little bit, knowing that that's how Queen, got mangled in a situation. I do not expect him to be completely out of the arc itself. Who knows? Maybe he could surprise us afterwards and have, like, some crazy durability feats that we've seen from, Jack. And we know that these commanders are on a whole different level where they can tank hits. They're not going to be able to beat Yonkos, but they're a lot more sturdy than we think. Given the fact of what just happened now, it pretty much tells us that the prison break is about to commence. We haven't seen Raizo in a little while as well, so I'm assuming that at the moment he's probably going to the other parts of the prison mines within Udon to get the other Yakuza members out, and that way it helps out, speed the plot a little bit more. And getting to see too, even that Kid and Killer are currently, being submerged underwater. They're pretty much, on death's door at the moment, and it's like Luffy right now could potentially try and get them out afterwards, which I can see happening now as, he does this, and then it's like, okay, because I helped you out, now we gotta work together and try and defeat Kaido. But I know some people are gonna be kind of mixed on it, because it's like, I expect them to be teaming up together, since I'm a big believer of the whole, Luffy, Law, Kid going up against Kaido. It has to happen. but some people are kind of mixed on how exactly it's going to be handled. I think this will be fine because, again, you helped me out. We're going to do what we need to do afterwards, and then, you know, it is what it is. We see all this happen now, and I'm assuming that we are going to get the prison break to go down possibly in 2 weeks' time, but if Queen ends up getting up, this changes things completely. And we know now as well that Kiku and Chopper are right now about to go inside, or pretty much already inside the Udon prison, trying to get Luffy and them out. We know Momonosuke and Tama are not going to be there to, you know, help them out because they cannot afford to have Momonosuke being captured or being identified whatsoever, because that happens, everything could go up in smoke. So I'm hoping that nothing bad happens to the two of them, especially to my daughter. But given the events that transpire now, the prison break should commence. We should see some stuff going down. But if Queen gets up, I'll give my respect to Queen. But for now, I see him being possibly just, you know, knocked out for the moment, but not out of commission for the rest of the arc. Overall, I thought this was an awesome chapter. I had it originally as an 8 out of 10 when I had first read it. It's probably going to lean towards more of an 8.5, maybe even to the 9 itself because of how great the content that we got in here, you know, from the stuff in the Rasetsu District. A lot of stuff that we can see happening with Fukurokujo and the whole Usopp, you know, potentially being captured thing, and as well as my whole, like, idea of, like, you know, Law having a part to play, and the whole, like, you know, cure of these side effects of these smile devil fruit. So we can see a whole bunch of stuff going on from there. But I'm curious to know what you guys think down in the comment section below in regards to this week's chapter in One Piece. How did you guys feel about the chapter itself that we got it, and was this a good enough chapter to get so that way, you know, we're good with it, we can go on break, we can kind of relax, and then go back and experience more heat afterwards? Or do you feel like we should have gotten like another chapter that kind of suffices, you know, enough of a point where it's like, okay, we're good at least for another week or so? If there's any details that I missed on in regards to the chapter this week, let me know down in the comments. So, you know, maybe we can make a discussion out of it or so, you know, within the week that we're pretty much going to be away with the chapter. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new here. If you have not subscribed yet and you want to be a part of the weekly experience when it comes to One Piece on this channel, as I do live reactions, reviews, and discussions for the One Piece manga, consider subscribing if you haven't already. And of course, make sure to click on the bell of Shandora so that way you guys are informed of when exactly I do upload, when I do talk about the best-selling manga in history. And with all being said, I'll catch you guys in 2 weeks' time for chapter 946 of One Piece. So, Commodore Last signing off. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care.
Going crazy, yeah, we going crazy. I'm with the team, yeah, we going